Greetings and welcome to my video lecture reviewing in-text and works cited citations for MLA for paper number 1. We're going to be looking in this video at 3 citation situations that you're going to face in paper number 1. So for this first paper, you don't have to learn or master everything in MLA. You're just going to look at 3 specific situations. You can see them listed on this slide: citing a gig interview, citing a lines of work text, and using the QTD format to cite a quote that one writer includes in an essay from another writer. So your in-text parenthetical citation for a gig interview is going to look like this. The key element is the mentioning of the last name of the author, in this case Patrick Gamble. If the author's last name Gamble is mentioned, then all you need is the page number. If the author's name had not been mentioned, then you would need to include in the citation the author's name and the page number. Let's take a look at another common side of this. When we post in-text citations, they need to refer to a works cited citation, and the connection here is the last name. And that's why it's so important that you include the last name in the in-text citation, either by having it in the actual sentence or in the parenthetical citation. Here we can go see Gamble Patrick, and there's the citation. I'm not asking you to memorize this format. You should really just copy it. So all your gig interviews should look like this, but have a different author name, a different title for the interview, and different page numbers. So last name, first name of the interviewee, the title that's given to the interviewee in gig, the title of gig in italics, name of the editors, publisher, and then the page numbers. And here the pages are for the entire interview, and then you give the medium, which in this case is print. So let's look at a different kind of citation that you're going to be doing in this paper, a citation from lines of work. Here's the in-text citation. Again, we see the writer's last name, Burton, and the page number. And this is the standard way to operate in MLA. You put the author's name in the text, just the page number in the citation. But as I said before, if you don't do that, if you don't put the author's name in the text, it needs to be in the parenthetical citation. And once again, the parenthetical citation refers via the last name of the writer to the works cited citation. And again, we get last name, first name, name of the text, Anatomy of Melancholy. Remember, we get both of these from the end of the reading. In the Lapham's lines of work, all the bibliographic information is at the end of the reading. Lapham's Quarterly, lines of work, the editor, Lewis Lapham, Volume 4, Edition 2, year 2011, page 26, print. In this case, the piece is only 1 page long, and that's why you only list page 26. If it was a 4-page essay, you'd be putting page 24 through 30. Alright, so let's look at the third and final kind of situation that we run into in this project that we're working on. And that would be when you found a cool quote, one of I think 11 that Lapham makes in his introductory essay, The Servant Problem. And Lewis Lapham is the writer of The Servant Problem, but he includes a lot of quotes from other writers in that essay. If you want to use one of those quotes, like Woodrow Wilson, Teddy Roosevelt, Thomas Jefferson, Aristotle, etc., you need to use the QTD period in Lapham followed by the page number format. So you can see here an example of that. This was actually taken from a forum conversation example, but the same structure would apply in a paper. You can see the parenthetical citation, and again, you're sending the reader in your works cited list to a Lapham citation, not to a Woodrow Wilson citation, because you're not getting the quote from a Woodrow Wilson text. You're getting a quote of Wilson's from a Lapham text, thus the QTD in Lapham 17. And that citation in the works cited page looks like this: Lapham Lewis, so the author is Lapham Lewis, the article is The Servant Problem. All the info from Lapham's Quarterly is the same, except notice the page numbers here are 13 to 19, and the quote actually came from 17. So a reader would know they could find this text, go to page 17, and they'd find that Woodrow Wilson quote. So in a nutshell, those are the three situations you're going to encounter that you're going to need to document in this paper: citing a gig interview, citing a lines of work text, and doing a QTD quote and lapums. If you need to review these, rewind the video, stop and pause when you get to a particular slide. I've also put a PowerPoint version and a narration of this below the video lecture. So I hope that gives you a good start on the question of properly documenting your sources in this first paper. Thanks.